I ordered what was supposed to be a turbo auto oil pump. I wasn't going to take it apart, but before I installed it, but I figured I took the old one apart. This came out of my 86 naturally aspirated 5-speed manual. You can see the gears in here. So I ended up taking them both apart to compare the gears, and it looks like all the gears are the same. They all line up. They're all the same size. So I guess this is just a regular oil pump that I got. The only difference that I noticed was the height and these little ridges on this smaller gear. The older one is just a little bit taller. The only difference I see is there's a little drain hole in the bottom there, right behind the oil seal ring. So they both, neither one of them cover up that little drain hole, so not a big difference there. I just wanted to show what the difference was between these two oil pumps. But because I had bearing failure, I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. I don't really see anything wrong with this one, but a bunch of sludge in there. I took the pressure relief spring out, the nut and the spring, just to look in there and see how that works. There's just a little piece in here. There's just this little stopper, and it slides in with the spring behind it. And I guess when there's ever too much oil pressure, it compresses the spring, relieves the pressure, and the oil just comes back down through here and around into the pickups around here. And then as the gears spin, it just draws all the oil down and compresses it right here, and then pushes it out, up, and then through the block up. I did take some measurements. It was 2.95, 2.94 is the outer diameter of the new one, and then the height 0.49. Inner ring, same height. The inner ring is the same height. And you can see these two inner rings. The teeth are the same height, but this sleeve over here is just a little bit taller. I'm just cleaning the shipping oil or whatever that was on all these, on the oil pump. Something got on there and dried up. This real crusty. It wasn't even coming off with brake cleaner or anything, so I'm just taking a plastic razor blade and scraping all that off. So got everything pretty cleaned up. Oh, wiped all the stuff off. I'm just gonna put it back together now. I am going to use a little bit of assembly lube.
I'm also going to take a little bit of 40 weight oil and just drizzle it in here. Oops, pour it in. Cover plate. Let's see if I can use just a little drop of Loctite. Probably not necessary.
surface pretty clean of all the old gasket material. Just gonna wipe it off one more time. There's still some right there. I'm gonna see if I can actually clean off a little bit more. Okay, a little bit cleaner, not much. I am gonna run some ultra black gasket maker, just a little bit in between the block and the paper gasket and the actual oil pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on now.
Smooth it with my finger just a little bit. Set the gasket on. And wipe the pump off, from the main surface of the pump, the oil pump. And I'll put one little bead of gasket maker on this as well. Okay, yeah, decent amount right there. I'm just going to spread it out again. Try to get a good amount on these bottom corners. Just going to wipe off that excess right there. I think there's a little bit right there. Now we'll try to put this on. Two short bolts go on the top. Medium length bolts go on this top where the oil goes into the block. And then the two long ones go on either side. One is just slightly longer, which is for the alternator bracket, which I need to also put on. Don't need to, but since we are doing a NA to T conversion, we need to put the bracket on the left side, facing the engine, right side of the engine in the car. This is a naturally aspirated bracket. I think you just flip it around, you can still use it. You do need the bracket that goes right here that holds the alternator down.
These four smaller ones are 6 to 7 Newton meters. Not very tight at all. $12 to $16. All right, that's the oil pump. Also gonna put the pickup tube on. I gotta clean that though because it has a bunch of metal shavings in it. Or on it from the bearing failure, spun bearing. So I'm gonna clean this up and then we'll spin around and put it on. You can tell that O-ring has been in there a while. I bet when I take it out it's gonna look square. Not quite square, but flat. There's the new O-ring for comparison. Definitely, I'm getting the book all dirty. Definitely tell that had some mileage on it. Okay, I got the oil pickup tube all cleaned up, mostly cleaned up. I'll put the new O-ring in there. Some marginal fit in there. Don't really like it. So even though this O-ring doesn't fit exactly in there, that's all I got. I do have an Apex lower end seal set, but the O-ring is about the same size. Okay, I think I got this O-ring sealed in there. This is 16 Newton meters. I'm gonna go ahead and torque it down. And these little ones are 7 Newton meters. Probably just snug would do. So that's the oil pump and pickup tube. I am missing a bolt, so I'm probably gonna have to take this one back out and go find a new one. And when I take this out, I'll double check this O-ring and see if it got pinched at all. But it was a little more difficult than I thought it would be. That O-ring didn't really fit in the recess of the pickup tube. But it's in there, and when I take it off to put that other bolt in, I'll double check it. Okay, real quick, I'm just gonna remove the oil pickup tube to see if I crushed that O-ring, and to get another bolt because I couldn't find the bolt that I lost where it mounts to the oil pump. Oops, almost lost the washer and the motor there. That wouldn't have been good. Let's take these off. Oh, almost did the same thing. All right. Check this off. Let's see what this O-ring looks like. Looks like it pressed in there pretty nicely. Might have kind of, I moved it. So I think the key is to get it as close as possible. Press it on there and then gently move it around while applying pressure to see if you can get the O-ring seated in that little groove.